Good morning, my students. Today we are going to be looking at how to import data from Excel into my SQL database. Why are we going to be doing this? Sometimes you may want to create a database table, but already you have an existing data. Maybe you have a table in Excel that has over 1,000, 10,000 records, and you want to take this data. Maybe you are not able to manage the data because the data is so much, and the things you want to do on the data, Excel does not have provision for the kind of queries you want to run on that data in Excel, and you want to migrate this data to MySQL. And what are you going to do? Are you going to create the table and now use insert statement to be inserting these records one after the other? That will be very, very, very nasty to do. That will be a very, very tedious work to do. So MySQL has a way of importing an existing data from Excel into your MySQL database. Of course, my name is Mr. Ifeanyichukwu Anyora. What are we going to be covering in today's topic? First, before you can import a file from Excel into MySQL database, one thing you have to do, Excel is a different application from MySQL. MySQL columns have their own definitions, have their own laws, have their own constraints. So if you want to import a file, for instance, column name should not have space. But in a Excel file, the column name, you can have space. You can just my name or my mat number, you can space it in Excel, and there will be no problem. But you may not be able to do that in MySQL database. So before you import your file from Excel into MySQL, you have to first of all prepare your data to make sure that it complies with the rules of columns and data in MySQL. Then, secondly, you have to prepare this file in such a format that MySQL can pick. Normally, when you create a document in Excel, the file extension is .slls, but MySQL is not going to be importing this file as an Excel worksheet. You have to convert it to a format called comma separated value, which means CSV. So you have to convert that your Excel file to .csv file. So I'm going to show you how to do that. So preparation of your file is the number one thing you must do. Ensure that your data is in compliance with the rules of data in MySQL, and then ensure you save that file as .csv. Once you have done that, the next thing is to connect to your database. So once you have opened your Workbench, you log into your database connection. If you are done with that, you choose your schema or your database. Like we all know, a schema is the same thing as database. MySQL is a database management system, meaning that MySQL is managing several databases from different places, for different companies, can be managed in one database management system. So if you want to import table into MySQL, you have to specify the database that is going to be housing that table. So you have to choose your database. After you have chosen your database, then you import your data from Excel. You import your data from Excel. You can import your data either as a fresh table, meaning that as you're importing that table from Excel, it is becoming a fresh table in your database. That means the table is not existing in the database. So when you import from Excel, it becomes a table in your database. Then you may also want to update an existing database in your MySQL. Imagine that maybe you have created the database, you have some data in it, and maybe the person that is maybe data collector for you, your data collector uses Excel to collect the data. So is it that whenever he collects fresh data he brings, you have to retype or you have to create new table? No, you can import the updated records into an existing table. These are the things we're going to be doing in this video. I think it's time for us to go practical now. I'm going to open my workbench now. Workbench, let me just type MySQL to search it out. Wow, okay, this is it. I'll open my workbench. It's loading. All right, beautiful. I have two connections here. I have my connection to MySQL 25 connection. I think I created this particular connection for this year's class. So that's the connection I'm going to use. I'll click on it. Okay, that's opened for me. Like I said, once we have connected, if you check this particular, you'll see that we have several schemas. We have the bank DB schema, we have the demo schema, we have the MyDB, we have the Sakila, we have the SYS, we have the Word. These are all schemas, or what we can see, these are all databases. So now, the file we want to import, where is it going to be? Which database are we going to be putting it to? But that's not the thing. Let's first of all go and prepare our database, our file. Let's go and prepare our file. Okay, this is I have a file. Okay, this is a file database. Let me open it. Okay. Okay, this one is already a .csv file. Let me close this. Don't save, just close. Okay, I have another. Okay, this is also a .csv. Close this, don't save. I don't want to use this particular file. Okay. I think this file is an Excel file. Okay, that's what I'm going to use. But maybe I have to use it to demonstrate two things. First of all, let me just copy maybe 1 to 40 records, 1 to 40. I will copy records 1 to 40 and use it to create a new Excel. I'll copy it, Ctrl N, Ctrl V. All right, like I told you, we have to prepare this table so that it will match what MySQL can accept. So here, instead of saying /n, I can change it to just SN for serial number. Then this map number I can just put underscore. Okay, so this is what I have. Just 40 records. I have to save this file. Save as. Okay, I want to save it on my desktop. Let me just call it MySQL data set. Let me just call it MySQL data set. That's the name I want to use to save this file on my desktop. Okay, it was saved as an Excel file. So assuming I want to convert it now to .csv, I'll click save as. I just did it so that, because in your own case you may have already existing database, Excel file. That's why I have to create this one as an Excel file. I would have saved it directly as .csv, but I just had to save it as Excel file so that you can see how to convert and save an existing Excel file into .csv. So when you come to this save as, how did I come here? I went to save as. When I come here, I will see save as type. I'll click down. I'll look for CSV. There are different CSV. You'll see CSV MS-DOS, CSV Macintosh. But what we are looking for is CSV comma delimited. CSV comma delimited. That is the CSV you are selecting. Okay, I'm not changing the file name because the data type, the file type is .csv, is not the same as the former Excel file I did save before. So okay, when this thing come up, just say okay, just say yes. It's all right. I hope I can see. Okay, that's all right. I have saved this. Then what I want to do, the other file that I copied from, I copied from 140. I will now just, let me just say, I want to delete the ones I copied. I want to delete the ones I copied before. But this time around, I'll just save it straight. I'll save it straight. So I'll delete this. I'll delete. Beautiful. I have deleted. Okay. Now that I've deleted, so this is an update of the other file, but I have to save it as .csv so that I will not. I'll save it as .csv directly. .csv. Okay, this is it. Then the name was MSQ data set 2. Let me call it data set 2. All right. Is there something I'm not doing well? Okay, I'm still saving. Remember that I said your file, your column headings, I have to edit this one. SN, then underscore. I'll save it. Yes, just say yes. Whatever comes up, just say yes. So now I have my two files. I have the first file, I have the updated file or the updating file. All right, so let's go back to MySQL. Okay, maybe which schema do I want? Let me use the demo schema. Demo schema. The only table that we have there is the student table. I'll click on it. See what I did? I'll right click on that particular schema, or I can click on the tables. Anywhere I can click on the table, I can click on the schema. I will right click. When I right click, you will see table data import wizard. Table data import wizard. Yeah. The next thing now, where is this file? Say select file to import. I'll come here, browse. I'll click on browse. Then remember the file we are looking for on desktop. It's a MSQ data set.csv. That's what I'll select. I'll say open. All right. It has been selected into the file path. I will now click next. I'll click next. Good. You see options here. Say, do you want to create a new table, or do you want to use an existing table? So today, for now, we want to create a new table, and then we are going to tell it if this table we want to create. If you want to create a new table, you have to tell the MySQL that if this table is already existing, delete what was existing before and replace it with this. So maybe let's call it a name. We can give it the name of the table. We can call it a MSQ table. MSQ scores. Let me just call it MSQ scores. That's the name I call the table. We are not updating the existing table. We're just creating a new one. So I'll just say create new table. Give the table a name. If I don't give it a name, it will pick the name of the table. Now the name of the file we are importing from Excel will become the name of the table. So if the name of the file is good enough as the name you want to give the table, no problem. But if it is not enough, you give it the name you want. So after that, now you select the columns that you want to appear in your database. It's possible that it is not every column on the Excel worksheet that you want to appear on database. So you come here, you begin to change it. If you can say, okay, I don't want serial number, I want click serial number. I can change the data type of particular, just you are creating a new table. So even though the data type on Excel may be int, you can change the data type here. So I want everything. I want the serial number, I want the mat number, I want the score. So I will allow all of them to be ticked. The score should remain int. The mat number is a text. The serial number is a number. I will just leave all these ones as they are. So it's giving me sample of what is in my database. If you look here, it's showing me sample of what is in my database. Okay, I will now click next. Say the steps is going to take is to prepare, import, then import data file. I'll say next. Wow, finish performing task. Say click next to continue. I'll click next. Say 40 records imported. Remember it was 40 records I copied when I was creating that Excel file. Say 40 records imported. I'll click on finish. Beautiful, beautiful. So as you can see, that table is not existing on the particular schema we chose. So what do? I will refresh. As I refresh, you will see that that table is now existing. This is the table here, is now existing. If I want to query this table now, I can right click. I can say select rows from this table. Wow, beautiful. Are you seeing all those records? Let's check how many records are there. There are 40 records. 40 records. Beautiful. 40 records were imported. We have been able to create a table from importing data from Excel. So the next stage now is we want to now update an existing table. In this case now we don't want to create a new table, but rather we want to update maybe this table with the remaining other data that we created in the second file. So I'll come here and say, table data import wizard. I'll click on table data import wizard again. I'll say next. Here now, on a very good day, we have to choose the data source. What's our data source? Remember, it was MYSQL dataset 2 that has the remaining part of that file. So that is what we are selecting, MYSQL dataset 2. I click open. I click next. In this case now, we are not creating a new table. We want to update existing table. Existing table. So we'll just click update existing table. So update existing table, and the table is MySQL scores. You see it, demo schema.mysql scores. That's the table we want to update. So I will just click continue. Okay, good. I'm seeing several things here. What are these? Wow, things that I don't know about. I'm seeing more columns than what I had in the other table that I created. So what do? Remember, the table we had only 3 columns. We have serial number, mat number, and score. So I will first of all unselect everything and select only the 3 that I want. So all the other columns that existed in that table, we don't want it. We don't want it to be in our table, our database table. So we are going to leave out those ones and select only what we need. So we move on. Next, import. All right, next, 256 records imported. Finish. So let's refresh again. Remember when we queried before, it was only 40 records we got. We are going to query again after we refresh. We have refreshed. So let me query it again. Right click, select rows. Beautiful. Let's see how many records that we have now. Wow. 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 you can see that it continued from 40. The next was 41 according to the serial numbers we had there. Say 40, which was the last number we had before. Then, wow, that is it. So what we have just done is we have been able to import data from Excel into my SQL database. Imagine if we were to be writing code to insert all these records one after the other. How long could it have taken us to import over 200 data sets? Even if we want to type it as one code, it will be very cumbersome and the likelihood of making mistake will be there. So if you already have existing data in Excel, you can easily import it into your MySQL Workbench. Remember, what you do is that, one, you go to the database or the database you want to import the table into, you right click it, you say table data import wizard. From there, you make your choice, you choose your file, and that. I think we have tried. You can go and give it a trial, practice it. I think it will not be difficult for you to do such a thing in your exam. Thank you so much. My name is Mr. Ifeanyichukwu Anyora. Like this video, and if possible, I wish you could do that. Subscribe to my channel. Thank you.